Hello, everyone. This is Roger Michalski of Eagle Financial Publications. And today we're going to talk about one of the newest additions to the Eagle family, the Gilder Technology Report. And we have George Gilder's team with us today. And I'm going to ask Richard, I'm going to start with Richard. Tell us a little bit about this publication. This is basically like the centerpiece of your product line. So tell us a little bit about the Gilder Technology Report.
That's a good word for it, the centerpiece. The purpose of the Gilder Technology Report is to alert investors and explain to investors in a deep way the most powerful but non-obvious trends in technology and therefore technology investment. It's we cover what we call technology paradigms, which is a kind of the intersection of the technology potential with the realities of the laws of physics, right? Mm-hmm. And that really determines the future of technology and of the technology companies that we cover. And so what we do in the Gilder Technology Report is relevant to everything we publish, right? If you really want to be an informed technology investor, that's what the GTR is for. We do also do some great stock picking. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But what I would like to do is to turn to my two team members, Steve Waite and John Schroeder, to talk a little bit about how it is that we foresee and foretell what's coming in tech.
Go ahead, John.
So we talk a lot about the future here, the future of technology, the future of business. But it's not only about what lies ahead, but what lies beneath. So like an iceberg, only a small amount of what's going on today is actually visible. So consequently, many investors don't know what they don't know. But it turns out they're in good company because the big companies don't know either. And that's why they get disrupted. It's like the iceberg they never saw coming. So the fact is, half of the companies in the Fortune 500 today likely won't be there in 10 years. And so our investors want to know today who the new companies replacing them are going to be. But how will you find out if they're invisible to you? So to that end, this team has developed some very, very, very cool methodologies that help us to identify and analyze opportunities for investing in the disruptive companies of the future. And we'll be sharing that method as we bring these opportunities to the table.
Yeah, and on that point, Roger, when I was managing money on Wall Street, I was jumping up and down about Amazon in 1996 when I met Jeff Bezos, and he came into the office and pitched the company, and he just had books and CDs. That was it. And my colleagues looked at it and said, "I don't want to invest in a book and CD store." And I saw Walmart. I saw a gigantic online engine, right? And I couldn't buy enough of the stock on the IPO. And they sat me right next to Jeff during the IPO roadshow at Radio City Music Hall. And it was, I still remember, he got a call from his lawyer, and Barnes and Noble was going to sue him. And he came back to the table. I said, "What's going on?" He said, "We're getting sued by Barnes and Noble." I said, "Congratulations, you just made it."
That's right? Exactly. I was going to say that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is what John was talking about. These guys were going to get disrupted, and they knew it. And Amazon was going to be this disruptor. And the thing that we try to point out, we take a long-term perspective in the GTR because these companies can go up like a rocket ship, and then they can come back down in a bear market, right? When the dot-com thing imploded. But Amazon only got stronger. And the great companies, Andy Grove at Intel used to say, great companies get stronger during very difficult times, right? And so, that's what we look for, the great companies that get stronger during a downturn and a bear market. And I think, the Amazon is a great example of how, if you can take the Gilder investment themes, understand them and apply them, marry it to a great entrepreneur with vision, and hold on for 20 years. I mean, you could be on the beach sipping margaritas. And we would love to see our subscribers on the beach sipping margaritas.
Yep, sign me up for that. Well, maybe
by the
guys,
way, Amazon is one of the many reasons that Steve and not I do our stock valuations. Because during the time when Steve was making money on Amazon, I probably looked at it 10 times, and every time I said too expensive. But Steve, so thank God we have Steve. Um, but I also want to speak to this point, which is that in the Gilder Technology Report portfolios, we mostly cover mid to large cap. And some people say, well, mid to large cap is boring, but it isn't, because there's been a huge change in the way technology research is funded in this country. So that some of the biggest, you might think, boring companies have extremely exciting futures because of the R&D capacity that they have assembled. And from time to time, these big companies get discounted, but we're following the research. We're following their research, and we know what's in store for them could be as exciting as they were 20 years ago.
So you guys have two portfolios in the newsletter. Can you discuss a little bit about what those two portfolios are?
Yeah, we do two portfolios. We do one is what we call our paradigm portfolio, and these are essentially almost permanent investments, right? We put companies in here only if we believe we're going to be very happy owning them in 5 years.
Yeah,
right?
coffee can investments, we used to call them on Wall Street, right?
Okay.
Put them away, and you buy more when you get an opportunity during a bear market. You can buy more on sale.
Right. Yeah. We continue covering. We continue to remind you to buy. We continue to point out opportune times to buy. But there, when Steve said, well, sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down. But the long-term progression, oh, you can't see my hand. The long-term is a spiral, right? They're spiraling up. And so we also do, and I'd ask Steve to talk more about this, we also do a special situations portfolio, which is a shorter time horizon, much more price oriented. And because Mr. Market gets so confused about technology, there are almost always wonderful price driven opportunities in tech. Steve?
Yeah. So the special situations allows us to be opportunistic, Roger. And during a bear market, it's a great time to be opportunistic. And while the companies that we look at for the special situations may not fit our paradigm characteristics, we think that we could get 50 to 100% return in 12 to 18 months, which, an investor's, if you can pick that up, that's easy money. And so the special situations portfolio, we started in 2020 during COVID, when we were looking at the valuations and the market got really stupid. And then everybody realized we need technology if we're going to work from home, right? And these companies just, in fact, we're just unwinding a lot of the COVID stuff today. So, the market got really, really enthusiastic during that whole thing. And then everybody, dumped those stocks after they went up. And yet those companies are, many of them are getting stronger and are going to be around for a long time. And we spend a lot of time looking at long-term trends in semiconductors, and we're at a junction today, and John can talk for hours about this, but Moore's law has been a gigantic force in the evolution of technology. And we're at the point today when chip architectures are going to more from 2D to 3D. We're getting new kinds of materials. And I think we're going to have more innovation in the semiconductor industry in the next 30 years, than we've had in the past 30 years. We have to, right? In order to continue to get the power and performance characteristics that we're used to.
Yeah, that is a big theme. The semiconductor industry, which because of George's book, we call the microcosm because it works in the micro space, is not boring. We are looking at tremendous future developments. John, could you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, just Steve, about Moore's law. The rumors of the demise of Moore's law are greatly exaggerated. It hasn't even seen anything yet, and it's getting propelled by another of our leading lights here as we look at the landscape, and that is the trends that emerge from the convergence of completely disparate technologies. These are otherwise unconnected dots that originate and evolve independently in relatively isolated application spaces. Let me give you a couple of examples. 3D printing. Okay, we're all familiar with that. Okay, well, it surprised a lot of people that it was actually first demonstrated in 1981, but it didn't gain any traction until it met up with, number one, computer automated design, or CAD, and two, the open source movement, which happened decades later. Only then did it take off. Here's an even better example. Consider GPUs, digital cameras, the Internet of Things. Each of these technologies developing in standalone application-specific domains spanning gaming consoles to mobile phones to home thermostats, okay? Well, now let's throw in LiDAR, machine learning, a vast array of sensors and actuators. So now this is probably obvious to you now in retrospect. The self-driving car would not be possible without all of these technologies. It's an almost irreducible complexity, and yet, and this is the rub, none of these technologies foresaw their application in autonomous vehicles at the time that they were conceived. So this is the magic of convergence, and it's a key aspect of what we look for and how we identify emerging opportunities on the larger landscape.
Yeah, these are some amazing insights into technology, and this is what you'll get, in Gilder's Technology Reports. If you subscribe. One more thing before I let you guys go for this video is, can you tell us about one of the most interesting, something you're really excited about, one of the picks you have in the newsletter right now? But to be fair to the paying subscribers, but let's not give away the name, but tell us a little bit about one of your favorite stocks.
We have a company that we're recommending that is using brilliantly artificial intelligence in what we think is a particularly provocative and promising area. And we love their research capacity. We love their R&D. We love the fact that their earlier products are already pervasive in the market. And Steve can tell you a lot more about this than I can.
Well, we don't want to give away too much, because the people will, they'll Google it or whatever and they'll figure it out. But basically, we're looking at some mega trends, Roger, in certain industries are getting digitized in a profound way, and one of the industries that you and I grew up in Michigan is one of those industries, right? And there's a company out of, Israel has become such an important driver of technological invention and innovation. And George picked up on that many years ago with his book, The Israeli Test. But this company happens to be in business doing this for 20 years. And while they look like a startup, they've actually been doing this for a long time. And they have incredible intellectual property. They have incredible engineering, and they're fusing hardware and software together to create a new kind of transportation experience that we've never had before. And this is going to go on for decades, and it's going to really transform the entire world economy in a profound way. And we can't see everything that's going to happen, but we know that we want to be in on this. And it kind of reminds me of where Amazon was back in the mid 90s, actually. And we could very well see this thing go up, and then come back down. But it's got tremendous staying power, we think, and it's going to be a gorilla. It's going to become a gorilla in this space.
Yeah,
One of the things I love about this company, it's the last thing we'll say about it, is it has the feel of a startup because it's breakthrough technology. On the other hand, in its earlier versions, it's already the market leader in this technology. So, thrill of a startup, but um, but tons of revenue. I mean, it's a dream.
Yeah, they're working with 50 OEMs, Roger, and counting, right? I mean, it's really impressive. Wow. It's really exciting.
Yeah, no, that sounds very, very exciting. So, folks, if you want to learn about this particular pick that they're talking about and get this insight every week and every month in Gilder Technology Report, we have a very special deal to welcome this team to Eagle. So just click the subscribe button right below this video, and it'll take you to the order form. It has our very special, offer to kick off the, the relationship here at Eagle with the Gilder team. And, we're very, very excited about it. And guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And in our next video, we're going to talk about one of our other products, Moonshots. So thank you for watching, everybody. Everybody have a great day.